So I'm bored and I decide to watch the first movie Netflix told me I should watch. Looks like I'm watching Day Shift. Should be fun.
What? Like, no, seriously, what? This movie.
I don't understand why there's a reoccurring pee joke. They did a whole lot of, exposition and then go on and kind of show it in the movie. The whole El Jefe thing with no actual payoff. It could be nice to see a sequel. They did a lot of groundwork for making this a big world with a bunch of different vampires. But the payoff wasn't really there for me. And then Snoop Dogg's sacrifice at the end was completely undone, so it ultimately meant nothing. Part 2 of watching the first movie Netflix tells me I should watch. And today, it is Mr. Harrigan's Phone. Just from seeing the first 2 seconds of a trailer, I know it's Stephen King, and it has a kid from the Book of Henry. This should be interesting. Wait, that's Donald Sutherland. Yeah? I thought he died like 2 years ago. What, the Stephen King? What did I just watch? Is this a new movie? Because it feels like it should be an old movie. 1 second. Yeah, this movie came out this year. Why does it feel like this movie should have came out with the iPhone 1? How scary. Another horror movie where the cell phone is used as an allegory of ghosts of days before and disconnection from people. The cinematography in it's pretty good, and the kid did a good job acting. If you love Stephen King, you'll probably enjoy this movie too. All in all, I'll give this a 2.5 out of 5. Nothing particularly good about it, but there's nothing really bad about it. Part 3 of watching the first movie Netflix tells me to watch. Today, that first movie is Drifting House. Apparently it's a number 5 movie here in Japan. Yay.
I'm going to Florida with my family in a couple of days. There's an extra ticket if you want.
That's an international plane ticket. And they're just giving it to their elementary daughter to give to her crush? What?
Yeah, it's a good one. I didn't cry at all during this movie, okay? Shut up.
The animation's beautiful. It's a great story with well-voiced characters. Almost all the characters have like an arc they go through in growth and development as well. It's a great metaphor for, depression and isolation. And not holding on to the past, regardless of memories of how good or bad it is. On a scale from 0 to 5, I would give this a solid 4. 4.5, max. Back at it again with movies Netflix made me watch, part 4? The first option was in Japanese without English subtitles, so I couldn't really watch it. So I went down one, and this is the movie I'll be watching. Yep, this is it. Let's see what it's about. Wait a second, this is a Monkey Paw production? Hell yeah, I love those guys. Oh, I'm super excited for this movie now. I'm 25 minutes into this movie, and I'm loving the art style. It kind of makes me think of like a Leica movie, like Kubo and the Two Strings.
I know the truth about your prisons.
And what is that, Siobhan?
Well, you make a pile of money for every prisoner you take. So you pack them in like sardines, provide crap food, crap medical, dangerous conditions, and zero rehabilitation.
I am proud of you.
I wasn't expecting jail reform inside this movie. But I should have known better considering who the creators are. Wendell and Wild was surprisingly good. I absolutely loved the animation. It was very well written. The message about private prisons being bad is not subtle. And the messages about greed
and how it corrupts and fails all the people inside, like welfare and child care programs. I absolutely loved how Raul was called him and he and son the entire time, and it was just a thing. No one made a big deal out of it. The only real issue I had with this movie is the inconsistency in the dialogue, how sometimes it's using stronger language, and the other times it dances around it. Like when the Demon King says souls of a dang instead of souls of a damn, I think it's kind of weird. But all in all, I really enjoyed this movie, and I would say it's a solid 4.6 out of 5. Because I have a bunch of free time today, let's do part 5 of Netflix Made Me Watch. Today, the first movie Netflix tells me to watch is The Curse of Bridge Hollow. Let's see how this goes, shall we? Referring to The Walking Dead, I feel like they just looked at the fandom. Because we all know, if Daryl dies, we riot. Although, me personally, I love Father Gabriel. He's a fun character. Sometimes, I guess. Interesting. I'm sorry. What? They have an app for Ouija boards. Just, no. No. I surprisingly enjoyed that. The dad is a classic, I'm doing what's best for you, not necessarily what you want and your happiness kind of thing with growth and development to help him understand his daughter. Well, the daughter herself is a, you're not the boss of me, I'm a teenager now, I can make my own decisions trope. A lot of tropes in this movie, but I found myself laughing actually a couple times. All in all, I enjoyed this movie. I would give it a 3 out of 5. There's nothing terribly bad about it, but it's not particularly great. There's nothing special about it. My hair won't cooperate. My mustache is untwirling itself. But guess what? I'm back at again with Netflix Made Me Watch Part 6, and today is The Good Nurse. So let it begin. I'm not the biggest fan of real-life whodunit stories, so let's see how this goes and how much is actually real life. My inner Corman is super happy about how well the team is talking about in this beginning scene. Good medical stuff is going on here. Don't know why I swapped compression so quickly, but going well. So I think I've actually heard about this story before. Granted, there are too many stories like this, and it needs to stop. The movie was pretty good. The acting was great. The guy who played Charlie, super creepy. Good job whoever played him. Because it's based off of true events, some of it's going to be clearly made up for Hollywood purposes, and I really don't know what all was made up. But the writing was good for whatever was written and not, just copied and pasted from transcripts. All in all, I would give this movie a 4 out of 5. Back at it once again with Netflix Made Me Watch Part 7. My wife wants to watch this movie with me, so sadly, it's not the movie I'll be watching. This is what I'll be watching. The Gray Man. I like the Russo brothers, so I'm excited to see what this movie's about. All in all, it was okay. Not a lot of substance in it, other than don't trust the CIA, government bad maybe. But for a big blockbuster popcorn movie, pretty good. Too many quick cuts for my personal liking during the combat, but I enjoyed it, and I would give it a 3.5 out of 5. That being said, I love Chris Evans as Captain America, but he makes such a great villain. I want to see more Chris Evans evil, please. I got my tea in my favorite mug, and it's time for Netflix Made Me Watch Part 8. Today's movie is The School for Good and Evil. And I'm all about more evil. Okay, I am literally 4 minutes and 13 seconds into this movie, and they got me hooked. So I'm a little over halfway done with this movie, and I'm really liking it so far. It's kind of going into the idea of beyond good and evil, which is the name of a school of good and evil. I imagine that's to me. That was a really good movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Everything about it was great. 100% recommend this movie. Hopefully there's a sequel. 5 out of 5 stars. Welcome back to Netflix Made Me Watch Part 9. Today's movie is A Man from Toronto. Hot take, I don't think Kevin Hart's that funny, so let's see how this goes, shall we? I'm a little over halfway through with it. I've laughed a couple times. It's okay so far. Let's see if it gets better. Got a bit nippy, so I put on a hoodie. But in all seriousness, I was surprisingly entertained and laughed a few times at this movie. Granted, it was more at the Woody Harrelson parts than Kevin Hart, but Kevin Hart still made me chuckle at least once. It's a classic unlikely friends in an unlikely scenario kind of movie. Don't expect anything groundbreaking or revolutionarily new and innovative in this movie, but it's a fun watch. If you want a lighthearted, mildly action movie, this is pretty good. I would give it a 3.25 out of 5. Hey, back at it again with Netflix Made Me Watch Part 10. Today's movie is King Richard. This should be fun. So, I'm about halfway done with this movie, and I'm actually surprisingly enjoying it so far. It's been pretty good. I'm rather impressed by this movie. I typically don't care for based off of true story movies. Like, I love a good drama and everything, but when it's based off of true stories, you kind of know the outcome, even if you're not 100% sure of the story. Like, my mom likes to watch tennis, so I kind of had to watch some growing up, so I know who they are and how great they are. But the acting in this was great from all parts. And we thoroughly enjoyed this movie, surprisingly. I would have to give it a 4 out of 5 stars. Back at it again with Netflix Made Me Watch Part 11. Today's movie is Slumberland. Apparently, it's the number 3 movie. Nice. It's got Jason Momoa in it, so I'm pretty excited. Spoiler, I saw Philip being Flip like super early on, but oh my gosh, the reveal, heart-wrenching. I wasn't expecting this level of emotional just slap in the face from this movie. I see why this movie is number 3 today. It was fantastic. The acting all around, it was funny. Jokes came full circle for things I mentioned earlier in the movie. Jason Momoa, as always, was fabulous. It's a kids' movie, so I saw some of this stuff coming a mile away, of course. But oh my gosh, did I love this movie. 5 out of 5. I want to watch this again here soon. Welcome back to Netflix Made Me Watch Part 12. Today's movie is The Wanderer. Let's begin. What the heck did I just watch? Very heavy criticism about like church and using children actors in Hollywood. And the only reason I kind of got the Hollywood aspect of it was the opening line and closing bit about how people think this is real even though it's just a movie. I love Florence Pugh. Pugh. I think she's great. She did a fantastic job in this movie. But this movie was The ending made me think of Midsommar, with like the whole dramatic music, close up on a face, and kind of a reactionary shot. And it wasn't as well executed. Glad I saw it, I guess. I'm gonna give this one a 2 out of 5. Back at it again once, oh my gosh, my mustache. Much better. Back at it again with Netflix Made Me Watch Part 13. And today's movie is The Noel Diary. It's not even December 1st, and the number 3 movie right now is a Christmas movie. I'm over it already. I'm pretty sure what I just watched was a Hallmark movie. That being said, I do love a good Hallmark Christmas movie. It's a guilty pleasure. They're all entirely the same, and you know what's going to happen, but you know it's that similarity with variation that makes them kind of enjoyable. If you like Hallmark Christmas movies, then you will enjoy this one. If not, you should pass. But since I do, I'll give this a standard 3 out of 5, like all Hallmark Christmas movies are. Because I have a bunch of free time today, back at it once again with Netflix Made Me Watch Part 14. This time is My Father's Dragon, and it is not Spyro the Dragon, sadly. Just started the movie, and I like the art style. It kind of makes me think of the movie The Breadwinner, just slightly different. I like it though. My Father's Dragon was a pleasant, delightful little movie. I loved the animation, the story was nice. The stakes got a little high for a kids movie, but not like, oh my gosh, this is a kids movie. It's a good coming-of-age story about a boy and his dragon. I really enjoyed it, and if you have a kid, they probably will too. As far as kids movies go, I'd give this one a 4 out of 5. Back at it once again with Netflix Made Me Watch Part 15. And it's as if Netflix heard my anger from earlier videos. It's another Christmas movie. Christmas on Mistletoe Farm. It's not Christmas yet. It's not even December. Why are these here? Calm down, people. I am 3 minutes and 25 seconds in, and I'm pretty sure Netflix has just stolen a bunch of Hallmark movie writers and forced them to work for them. I like Hallmark movies, generically speaking, but this one, oh boy, it was a bit much. One of the main characters, Bino, I felt like was trying to emulate Jack Black, but went way too Jim Carrey in his performance. The dad's love story in the end really was just kind of shoehorned in there because it's a Hallmark-like movie and they have to get together, even though maybe 5 minutes of screen time of them was together. There's this weird rap in the middle that comes back at the end that Netflix, did I make you mad? Is that why you showed me this movie? The best thing about this is his kid named Buster. He's a boy and he loves wearing sparkly things. And that's like his only character trait. Outside of that, it's not that good. 1 out of 5. I'm sorry, don't watch it. It's kinda early and I'm tired, but guess what? Netflix made me watch Part 16. And as if God himself is punishing me, I get yet another Christmas movie. Christmas with You. It's November 30th. Please stop. I am 36 minutes and 1 second in. It's okay. Not terrible. The grandma's fun. I can already see the shoehorning of a love story that doesn't really need to be in there, mostly because of a boyfriend she doesn't like and a single dad. So yeah, it's gonna happen, you know? All things considered, not terrible. Again, it is a Hallmark... What's going on with my hair? Again, though, it is a Hallmark Christmas movie. If you like Hallmark Christmas movies, you'll like this one. It makes me think of the movie Marry Me, which I absolutely love because of just how cheesy and it feels like it should have came out like a decade and a half ago. But still, it was pretty good and the love story wasn't totally shoehorned and wasn't a complete train wreck or a disastrous or toxic relationship. If it actually had good communication, we could have, saved 10 minutes of a movie, but all in all, I enjoyed it. 3 out of 5. Back at it once again with Netflix Made Me Watch Part 17? We're in luck. Today is not a Christmas movie. It's Troll. I'm super excited for whatever this is, strictly because it's not Christmas related. Fingers crossed, it's as good as I am excited. Or at least really fun to watch, if not good. Alright, so I'm a little over halfway done with it, and so far I'm loving it. The acting's okay, the edits are fine, nothing spectacular about the making of this movie, but just the plot, the story, the characters, everything has been so much fun so far. I absolutely loved this movie. It's a perfect amount of just like cheesy B-movie monster plot with genuine stakes and character growth. The design for the troll looks really great. I'm pretty sure I watched it dubbed, and the dub was okay. And they did the best thing you can do. Gotta leave room for a sequel. Which I hope there is a sequel. I give this one 5 out of 5. You gotta watch it. It's fun. Back at it once again with Netflix Made Me Watch Part 18. Today's movie is Warriors of the Future. By title alone, I imagine this is going to be a cheesy sci-fi movie. I'm excited. It took 1 minute and 19 seconds for the movie to start. Everything else was just companies that helped make and produce this movie. It was okay, I guess. A lot of quick cuts during the action scene just made everything kind of choppy. And Tyler getting a new replacement daughter just seemed kind of insensitive. Or the love story between the one girl and Connor. What happened with that? They just left it open-ended. They didn't touch bases. Nothing happened at the end. What's going on? Very unsettled messages about government, mankind, technology, nature, global warming. Nothing about this movie was subtle. But it was worth a watch, I guess. If you like moderately fast-paced action movies, then this is for you. Otherwise, I'm gonna say like a 2.5, 3 out of 5. Back at it again with Netflix Made Me Watch Part 18. This one's only 42 minutes, so I guess technically it's a short and not a movie, but is Alien X Mass. Alright, let's begin. It was pretty cute, but I'm glad it was a short. I don't think it could hold up as a feature-length film, even though technically a feature-length film is 45 minutes or longer, but still, I'm glad it's just short. It was a fun little Christmas watch. Glad I saw it. For a short, I'll give it a 4 out of 5. Back at it once again with Netflix Made Me Watch Part 20? So I double checked, and yes, it is Part 20. Today's movie is My Name is Vendetta. It's number 2 right now, so let's see what it's about. So, the first half is just badly edited and no context given editing of a hockey game. But then, like, immediately after that, we get very beautiful long scenery shots on a road. So I'm not quite sure what's going on with this cinematography. This movie is originally in Italian, and I'm watching it both dubbed and subbed because I need subtitles. But I think it's weird, in English, they keep saying ciao, even though they already translated everything else. So I just finished the movie, and it was okay. It was a standard action, basically Taken, but, my daughter's with me kind of thing. There's a lot of quick cuts in the action, and it was really dark at times, and my TV doesn't do dark well, for whatever awful reason, so I couldn't see some of it. A cycle of violence continues to go forth in this movie as one generation just corrupts the other with it, and I don't like that. It was an okay watch. I didn't really enjoy it too terribly much, but if you like John Wick Taken-esque movies, you will. So I'm gonna give this one a 2 out of 5. Back at it once again with Netflix Made Me Watch Part 21. Today's movie is Scrooge, A Christmas Carol. It's close enough to Christmas. This is fine, I guess. It's a musical. It's gonna be a long movie. So it was okay. Some of the music was really good, and other parts were just like, oh gosh, what am I watching? Make this stop. All things considered, it was a good movie. Had a lot of horror elements to it, which makes me now want to see a full-blown horror Christmas Carol, and I had like the perfect ideas for it. The music, I could take or leave most of it, but it was all well sang and well performed. The voice acting in it was great, and I enjoyed the movie. So for that, I'll give this movie a 3 out of 5. It's early, and I can't fall back asleep, which means there's only one true option left in the universe. Netflix Made Me Watch Part 22. Woohoo! And today's movie is A Boy Called Christmas. There are a lot of dirty jokes going through my head, as well as a lot of that poor boy being named Christmas. Professor McGonagall? Walking around in the human world? Okay. That movie was pleasantly delightful. It truly captured the Christmas spirit of kindness, hope, and joy, and a little bit of
darker themes that are broken down to a level where it's easy to understand for children. By far, it's the best Christmas movie I've seen this year. 5 out of 5. Highly recommend this one.
Back at it once again with Netflix Made Me Watch Part 23. Today's movie is Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. Or as other people pronounce it, Pinocchio. Finally, a Pinocchio movie where people react appropriately to a walking, talking puppet. Terrified. And then in the spirit of capitalism, try to make massive money off of it. And then only to find out that the puppet can't die and make it a soldier. The best kind of soldier. One that doesn't die. The music in it was pretty good. The story was fun. I love this kind of stop motion animation. It's great. I love it. I want to see more of it constantly in movies. I really enjoyed this movie. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. Also, yes, war is bad. Howdy, and welcome back to Netflix Made Me Watch Part 24. Today's movie is I Believe in Santa. I'm 10 minutes and 13 seconds into this movie, and I already feel gross. There's a dance scene in it with a bunch of little girls dressed up as bumblebees. It lasted like 5 seconds. Clearly they didn't put a lot of effort into it, and it ended with him shaking their stinger, and it just felt gross.
You know, this is probably the least toxic love story in a Christmas movie I've seen in a while. Of course, there's a makeshift conflict that could easily be resolved through two people communicating a little bit better in the third act, but still, they make it work. And despite their differences in beliefs, they still love each other, which they very heavy-handedly said at the end of a movie. The plot was okay, but, the relationship was the best part of this movie. And for that, I'll give it a 3 out of 5.
Howdy, and welcome back to Netflix Made Me Watch Part 25. Today's movie is A Not So Merry Christmas. Sounds about right for Christmas. So, I'm a little over halfway done with this, and I think it's fun that it's not the same Christmas, that it's every year on his thing, like his memories just get transferred from here to 1 year later. I think that's kind of fun, but also it's a little annoying because I like seeing them learn the pattern of stuff, but it's not so bad so far. So the movie was originally in Spanish, and Netflix likes to just sub and dub everything for me, and when really I just need things subbed, I need subtitles anyways. And they were both super inconsistent, which kind of bothers me. But that's beside the point, to be honest. I actually kind of enjoyed this movie. Again, it's Groundhog's Day, but instead of the same day, it's the same day, year after year kind of thing. So December 24th, 2012, then 2013. Not just December 24th, 2012 over and over again. And it was a nice little twist. I liked it. I'll give this movie a 4 out of 5.